good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting of the City of Lenoir for Tuesday, May the 20th, 2025. We welcome you here this evening. We have a very interesting agenda tonight, a very exciting agenda tonight. So we welcome a number of people here with us this evening. First of all, I want to introduce our intern that's with us, Winifred Ray Unruh. Is that Unruh? Did I get it right? Unruh. I'll get it
You're
right.
all over it, Chuck.
Yeah, I got it. I'm close.
All over it, but wrong.
Winifred is interning with us in our planning and downtown development departments, so we're glad to have you. She is at the greatest school in the world, Appalachian State University, and we appreciate that, and glad you're with us, and thank you for spending your time learning in Lenoir, North Carolina. How about that? You're very welcome. All right, and also our attorney tonight, Dylan Laws, is with us. Thank you, Dylan, for filling in for whatever that guy's name is, Roar.
Happy to do it.
Glad to have you here. Thank you for being with us tonight on that. And we also have a great contingent from the Western Piedmont Council of Governments tonight. I'm not going to introduce all these guys, but thank y'all for being here, and we'll be doing something special for a certain gentleman here in just a few minutes, and we appreciate y'all coming out tonight to be a part. And we also welcome the president of the Caldwell Rotary Club, Mr. Charles Beck, who will be making a little presentation, something special, and glad to have you as always, Charles. Charles, of course, was here with us for many years and now enjoys the retirement world, and we appreciate him being here tonight. Thanks, Charles. And our Public Works staff is here. That's right. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to be having a special recognition just a little bit for that, for Public Works Week, and we thank our guys from Public Works, who I call the glue of the city, is right sitting here tonight, and we appreciate that for sure. So thank you for being a part of that. All right, our first item tonight is a special recognition, and I'm going to come down. Oh, wait a minute. We got to pray first, don't we? Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. Jumping the gun tonight. A lot of things going on. All right, as we go to our time of silent prayer and that kind of thing, our moment of silence and our pledge of allegiance, we would like to keep the tragic death in our community of an infant who passed away here. We don't know all the details of everything yet, and of course it's still under, they're looking into everything, but we want to say our prayers for the family and everything that happened to the young child that passed away in our community. And also, please keep our own Jared Wright's mother in your thoughts and prayers as she undergoes some things. They're doing some testing to find out what's going on. So, Jared, you're in our thoughts and prayers as well, and we'll keep thinking about you. Please keep us up to date on what's going on. And continue prayers for Todd Perdue and Catherine, and as they continue to do things to find out where we're going with everything. So you're constantly in our thoughts and prayers. So please pray for these as we go to that time. Thank you. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now I'll go down. How about that? Tonight is one of those special nights. It's a bittersweet night for a gentleman that we have spent a lot of time with. I figured out, Rick, you owe me $3,500 and some for all the signatures that I've given you over to you. Rick, come on up. Rick Oxford has been a part of not only the city, our county, the Western Piedmont Council of Governments for 42 years. That's amazing, isn't it? He's only 50. I mean, you started when you're 80. Oh, Rick, it's been honestly a great pleasure to work with you over the years. Thank you for all that you have meant. All the times that you've called me on the phone and we've met to get signatures. You come to my house, we've met at City Hall, we've met everywhere. But we appreciate that you have taken care of the programs that we have helped administer from the city of Lenoir through the COG. And you have always done such a wonderful job. And I've got a resolution first I'm going to read for you and present to you. And then we have something else for you as well. This is a resolution honoring Rick Oxford. Whereas Rick Oxford served the city of Lenoir from July 18, 1983 to March 15, 1985 as a housing specialist in community development. And whereas Rick joined the Western Piedmont Council of Governments in 1985 as community development specialist, was promoted to community development administrator in 1986, and now serves as the housing program manager. And whereas the Western Piedmont Council of Governments is a planning agency supported by voluntary membership of 28 county and municipal governments in the Unifor, including Alexander, Burke, Caldwell, and Catawba counties, and the municipalities of Brookford, Cages Mountain, Catawba, Cedar Rock, Claremont, Connolly Springs, Conover, Drexel, Gamewell, Glen Alpin, Granite Falls, Hickory, Hildebrand, Hudson, Lenoir, Longview, Maiden, Morganton, Newton, Roadhiss, Rutherford College, Sawmills, Taylorsville, and Valdez. We got them all. And whereas Rick was instrumental in creating and directing the Unifor Consortium Home Program, with the city of Lenoir being the lead entity for the program, representing all 28 local government members of the consortium. And whereas Rick has helped nearly 3,000 families become first-time home buyers through the home program's down payment assistance program, he has provided more than $5 million from the home program to 14 different community housing development organizations that support low-income families, and he has loaned over $6.1 million to multifamily housing developers on 23 different projects that created 1,405 housing units. And whereas Rick has leveraged more than $378 million in investments since the home program was first funded, and has helped thousands of people and families in the Unifor with housing services. And whereas Rick has announced his retirement from the Western Piedmont Council of Government as of May 31st, 2025, ending more than 4 decades of service to the city of Lenoir, Caldwell County, and the Unifor. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, as mayor, and on behalf of the Lenoir City Council and all of our citizens, do hereby congratulate Rick Oxford on his retirement and thank him for directing the Unifor Consortium Home Program and providing much needed housing assistance to our residents. This, the 20th day of May, 2025. Rick, congratulations. One more thing to do before I let you say anything you'd like. We would like to present you with the highest thing I can give you from the city of Lenoir, a key to the city of Lenoir that you have earned. It doesn't open a whole lot. It doesn't open my door to my house either, so don't come by there thinking. But we are honored that we've had you with us all these years. Thank you for what you've done, what you've meant to so many people, and helping them with so many good things we've got going on. It reads, presented to Rick Oxford, Home Program Director, Western Piedmont Council of Governments, in honor and recognition of 40 years of outstanding and dedicated public service from March 1985 through the present for 40 years, Lenoir City Council. Maybe this was dated the wrong date, but anyway, we were going to do it earlier. It's close enough. But I would like to present you this, and let's start. I'll have to turn it around. We're going to shoot some pictures with the council and all that. So, Josh, we'll do that when you all.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. I'll help you with this. Council.
Does he want to speak?
Oh, I'll tell you what, don't you speak, if you want to first, and then we'll do a picture. I'll take that, and hold it for you.
Well, I didn't prepare, Steve.
Well, you say what you want.
I didn't prepare a speech, but I was thinking earlier, Moses, it took him 40 years to go through the desert, and I'm going, well, it's taken me 40 years to get to retirement, so. But it's been a pleasure and my honor working for the city. I grew up in Lenoir, and I enjoyed working here with the city of Lenoir. I got my start with government work here, and working here in West End, rehabbed about 50 houses, and then went to the Council of Governments, and then they sent me back here. So, but I've seen a lot of changes in Lenoir, and I've just enjoyed it. It's been an honor, and I've got to do, economic development here, community development work here, done water and sewer work, just tearing down hospitals, tearing down Smithy buildings, a
We
lot
helped
of
with
different
that.
projects. Yeah, this is good. So, but I'd like to thank you. I think this is the best mayor, best council. It's been a pleasure working with you guys over the years. So I want to thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rick, I calculated a minute ago that Todd and I have listened to your presentation 42 times.
We always knew it was spring when Rick would come around.
That's right.
Well, I wore a pink shirt.
That's good.
I'm not wearing a tie. I know TJ would love it. Okay.
You want to put them in? Why don't y'all, you guys come out and get in a picture with
No,
them?
we're taking pictures.
Well, you do that, and then we'll get you one too, so you come with it.
All right, yeah, feel free. All right, look at me first.
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Everybody say Ben Willis.
All right. I'm gonna do about 5 without the flash.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Anybody else?
We got it. Okay.
Why don't y'all come get in the picture too?
Okay, so I have with me
Yes, please introduce yourself.
Ben Willis, Jennifer Cannon, who's going to be the new me.
Gonna be the new Rick Oxford.
Yeah, Jennifer.
Big shoes to fill.
And this is Lori Powell, I worked with forever.
Who's what?
Go over on that side.
And then Sherry Long,
Go over on that side.
Sherry Long.
Go over on that side. There we go, you can do it.
Kyle
And
Hayes,
we know Kyle.
We know Kyle.
and this young lady here happens to be my daughter.
Come in, we'll show you her.
Hey, come here.
That's good.
Then why don't you stay back? Yeah.
Here, I'll let you hold it.
Oh, yeah, that's.
All right.
Good.
This is my best part.
All right, look at me again. Right here. 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right, no flash. 1, 2, 3, cheese.
You said that doesn't goes into your house?
That's what you need.
I hate that.
But Rick knows how to get in anyway.
I know how to get in the straight order.
And he knows the dog, so we're the dog in the park. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you.
See you soon. Hard to believe, 42 years of doing anything, that's a lot, isn't it? Congratulations to them. All right, today we have another special recognition. Where is Mr. Hogan? There he is. And anybody else that you want to bring up? Come on, dude, I gotta have you up here.
Yeah.
Come on. Good to see you, sir. As always.
Oh.
We are. One day. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you all here tonight with us. Thank you for all that you do in this city. As I tell you all the time, without the Public Works Department, we wouldn't have all these things, because you're the glue that keeps it all put together. And we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for what you do. This is a proclamation in honor of National Public Works Week. People, purpose, presence is the words for it. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Lenoir. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals, who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the city of Lenoir to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 65th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now therefore I, as mayor and on behalf of the Lenoir City Council, do hereby designate the week of May 18th through May 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week, and urge all citizens to join with representatives of governmental agencies and the American Public Works Association in activities and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, and administrators, and to recognize the substantial contributions they have made to our national health and welfare. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Lenoir to be affixed this the 20th day of May 2025. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Hogan. Gentlemen, thank you all very much. I'll let Don speak, and then we'll get a picture.
Well, I'm not gonna say a lot because the mayor pretty much just stole my speech, so we'll just scrap that. But no, we truly are blessed here in Lenoir with an amazing public works staff. I can't say enough about these folks from our vehicle services department, our building services, parks and public properties, streets and solid waste, and our cemeteries divisions. We are truly blessed. We have a very hardworking and dedicated staff, and I don't think you're gonna find any better. Super proud of these folks. Glad they came, gave up their free time, even though some of them are gonna heckle me later. But I would like to point out just a few things. Speaking of APWA, they actually hold every year they hold an equipment rodeo, which is basically a rodeo with equipment. No bulls and no cows, any of that stuff. But this year they had a knuckle boom, which is our brush truck. That's the truck you see picking up brush. They had a Mini X, a snow plow, and a sidearm mower. And we actually had competitors in all those areas this year. So this was most of their first year competing in this, and I was super impressed. So in the knuckle boom competition with Kenneth McLean, where you at, Kenneth? Kenneth actually ended up third. So that's across the state. Each municipality sends the best of their best equipment operators to compete here, and the winners go to the national level. So Kenneth was third in the state in the knuckle boom. In our Mini X, Tracy Huffman, who sandbagged from first and ended up with third, which is not bad, but again, he sandbagged. So Tony Sluter was seventh in the Mini X. Where you at, Tony? J.R. Todd, who's not here, he was 7th in the snowplow, and then John Spencer, who's not here, was 8th in the sidearm mower. So, great showing by our folks, especially considering the competition and as many people as they competed against. But our folks are constantly, we're trying to get more involved in these things. We're constantly doing more training, trying to get folks up to speed on new technologies and those things. Jeff Holland, who is our Parks and Public Property Superintendent, he actually earned his Facilities and Grounds Manager certification through APWA this year. Stephen Harrison, our Parks and Public Properties, he's working on finishing up his NC state or his NC pesticide license. Zach McCall, yeah, Zach, he actually earned his 2-year associate's degree in general education. Not sure what you're gonna do, as long as you're staying here, we're good. But he also completed a sports turf management program, and he's one of the folks that helps take care of our sports turf and our athletic fields. And we've got a whole list of folks that are involved in other training. We've got a few folks in our streets division that are working on finishing up their road scholars through NC State. Hopefully they'll have those complete this year, and they'll be recognized at the APWA Streets Conference, which will be in Hickory this year in October. So again, we're blessed with amazing staff. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. And thanks again for recognizing us and celebrating Public Works Week.
We'll just stay here.
And we also have 2 of our former Public Works Directors, Charles Beck and of course Jared Wright. Both have been with us in that capacity. We appreciate all that work.
Tighten up.
Council, I guess, Barbara, let's
Yeah,
all-
they'll stay up there.
Yeah.
If you guys can just
We'll
step back a little
back
bit.
up a little bit right here with. You come out here, there we go.
Get close like you like each other. That, you come over like right here somewhere. All right, okay, good deal. Ready, 1, 2, 3, cheese. Everybody just put your hands down. 1, 2, 3, cheese. 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Say backhoe on 3.
1, 2, 3, backhoe.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
We'll see you soon. You have to tell them the story. I know, I'll see you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, it's very special that we have such a great department, and we appreciate all that they do. They, tell you what, they take care of so many things. Got complimented Sunday at the concert, the people there bragging about the Christmas lights and all the things downtown, and those are the guys that do all the work to put it all together. So it's good that we have such a great crew. We appreciate John and Jeff and all you guys and our head, our departments for everything you do. So thank you so much. All right, we'll move on then to matters that are scheduled for public hearing this evening. Tonight, we have a conditional zoning request. This is for 229 Wilson Street. We'll hold this hearing to consider approval of a conditional zoning request by ordinance as submitted by applicant John, say that again? Genshin, thank you. Genshin, Eurostar Construction Incorporated for property located at 229 Wilson Street. That's North Carolina PIN number 27590888451, to rezone the subject property to a conditional zoning district, that's CZ12, to allow for a revised setback to accommodate a new rear property line. As background information, the subject property consists of 2 properties, one with the newly renovated apartments and the other with the original hospital building, which is off of Wilson Street, Hospital Avenue. The applicant's plans for redeveloping the rear of the apartments parcel have changed, and future developments would be more manageable if the hospital building were on a separate parcel. The proposed rear setback is 5 feet for both proposed parcels. The consistency statement is the proposed conditional zoning ordinance is consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan because it entitles the subject property to be used efficiently and as separate development sites. Since minimal demolition is proposed, this zoning ordinance does not change the character of the neighborhood as built and enables 2 separate buildings to be legally conforming to applicable zoning and building codes. On the City of Lenore future land use map, this area is identified as existing high-density residential and does not identify a future land use category. However, this conditional zoning ordinance accommodates future residential development that will not impede on other uses in the B6 zoning district. This use in the general scheme of all properties in this area of Lenore does not hardly affect the intended uses that were bound for this parcel and surrounding parcels. The proposed conditional zoning ordinance is reasonable and in the public interest because it relaxes regulation for residential or mixed-use construction and makes more efficient use of the city's existing infrastructure investments by providing infill opportunities. All right, and then I'll bring Hannah Williams. Tough night tonight. Hannah Williams, our planning director, up, and she has some other things to tell us about. The public hearing is now open, so we will introduce her.
Thank you very much, Mayor and City Council, for hearing this tonight. So yes, we're discussing 229 Wilson Street. It's today the site of 6 newly renovated apartments in the former nursing home on Wilson Street, also the original site of Caldwell Memorial Hospital. The whole site is 1.46 acres and it's zoned B6. This zoning district is a transitional business district which accommodates small office and retail uses as well as a mix of housing types. The owner was able to renovate the front part of the building and create the new apartment units. As you can see in the photo here in the upper right corner, that's the view from the street, from Wilson Street. It was part of his original plan to continue building apartments into the rear of the site, which is the original hospital building that you can see in the lower right here. But now he is seeking other options in redeveloping or selling the rest of the site. One thing that would make these other options easier is to separate the two-story building area from the rest of the building by demolishing a 12-foot wide area, which you can see in the lower right-hand image on the screen. And this would also accommodate a subdivision to keep those 2 buildings apart from each other. B6 currently requires a 10-foot setback from rear property lines, and this conditional zoning ordinance proposes a 5-foot rear setback. So there would still be 5 feet of setback on either side of a new property line. The conditional zoning ordinance also proposes a cross-access agreement to be filed with the Register of Deeds to allow for vehicles and pedestrians to cross through the site and improve circulation. So I will read out the conditions as written in the proposed ordinance. So all conditional zoning ordinances are accompanied by a concept plan. So the first condition regards the concept plan. Subject to any modifications expressly contained in the text of this ordinance, development and maintenance of the property must be consistent with the concept plan attached to this ordinance as Exhibit B, hereinafter the concept plan. In the event of a conflict between the text of this ordinance and the concept plan, the text of this ordinance shall control. References in this ordinance to lots, parcels, buildings, phases, and other development features refer to such features as identified on the concept plan. Number 2 is it with regard to variances. Zoning variances to the standards of the default zoning district not modified by this ordinance may be approved pursuant to the procedures set forth in Appendix A, Article 13, Section 1312.1 of the Lenore City Code. Condition number 3 has to do with modification. The special conditions specific to CZ12 zoning district may only be modified by application for a zoning map amendment following the procedures outlined in Section 820 of the Lenore City Code. Condition number 4 has to do with permitted and special uses. And there are no changes to permitted or special uses in this zone. All uses permitted within the B6 zoning district apply here. Condition number 5 has to do with setbacks. The modification is that rear setback for this district is 5 feet. As for access, a cross-access agreement must be recorded at the Caldwell County Register of Deeds prior to recording the minor subdivision separating lots 1 and 2 to facilitate shared vehicular and pedestrian access to and from both lots. And number 7 regards lighting. All lighting shall be fully cut off and shielded so as to eliminate and minimize light spillover onto adjacent residential properties. So those are the conditions. And Planning Board reviewed this case at their April meeting and found the conditional zoning ordinance to be consistent with the comprehensive plan and recommends approval based on the statements and conditions read earlier. So that concludes what I have to say, but I'm available for questions. The owner and applicant of this conditional zoning ordinance is also in the audience today.
Okay. Thank you, Hannah. Any questions? The public hearing is open. Are there any questions for Hannah before I ask for anyone that would like to speak from the audience? Thank you. All right, we're in the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to address the council concerning this public hearing? Okay, seeing no one. All right. Then I will close the public hearing, and I will turn it over to council for any question or motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the request as presented.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilmember Beal that we approve the motion for the conditional zoning request for 229 Wilson Street as presented by Planning Board and staff. No other discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
I bet you 98% of Lenore doesn't even know this exists. The old hospital.
No,
Yeah. Yep, that hospital is, when it was built, it was in the,
Says 1886.
Yeah.
you were born there. You remember that?
I was going to ask you if you did.
Joe was at the cutting of the ribbon.
I was not born in that hospital. Okay, thank you, Hannah. We appreciate that very much. All right, that's all we have tonight for public hearings, so we'll move on to the consent agenda items. Those consisting of item A are minutes of the city council meeting of Tuesday, May the 6th. Item B is the fireworks authorization permit. This is for an application for the fireworks display permit as submitted by Chris Jacobs, our fire marshal for the city of Lenore. The date of the display is Saturday, July the 5th, beginning at 9:30 p.m. at the Lenore Optimus Park, and will be conducted by Skyworks Pyro, JECO Pyrotechnics Incorporated for the City of Lenore Recreation Department. A certificate of liability insurance has been submitted by Skyworks Incorporated and has been verified. Item C is a resolution. This is the approval of the resolution to Rick Oxford, the plant administrator, as we presented. Item D is the proclamation for National Public Works Week that we read tonight. Item E is the location and approval of a rotary peace pole at the T.H. Broyhill Park. This is a recommendation that we approve the placing of a rotary peace pole at the T.H. Broyhill Park as requested by Mr. Charles Beck, who is the president of the Caldwell Rotary Club. This peace pole is a monument that displays the message, "May peace prevail on earth," in different languages on each of its 4 or 6 sides. There are estimated over 250,000 peace poles in every country in the world, dedicated as monuments to peace. The pole will have languages in English, Spanish, Vietnamese, Sign, which is American Sign, I think, and Braille will be a part of this one. The pole is here. Charles has brought the pole for us to see tonight, if you'd like to examine it. And there's another one that's located at the Heritage Museum. And I think we're gonna maybe have another one at the splash pad when that comes, but on that. So anyway, thank you, Charles, for that. Anything you wanna add to it while we're?
Just a little bit about how this came about.
Okay, thank you.
After World War II, a Japanese soldier created the first peace pole and placed it in Japan. And it has spread around the country. As you said, there are over 250,000 today in 200 countries. And this will actually be the second one that Caldwell Rotary Club has planted. We planted one at the Hub in Hudson, and we're delighted that you're considering this, and we think it'll be something that the citizens will appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Glad that we're doing that. All right, the item F is the capital project budget ordinance. This is for the Hospital Avenue sidewalk project, and this would be approving the budget ordinance in the amount of $3,469,863.56 for the Hospital Avenue sidewalk project as submitted. All right, that's items A through F in your consent agenda, and I will open it up for council for any discussion, question, motion, whatever you would like.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda.
A motion from Councilmember Purdue to approve the consent agenda items A through F as presented. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. We'll look forward to that one, being able to dedicate the pole at some point down the road. All right, we'll move on then to requests and petitions of any citizens. If there's anyone here tonight who would like to address the council, time to do so. I think everyone pretty much here, our staff. And a couple, Jennifer, it's always glad to have you here. And welcome as well. So glad to have visitors. Anyone that would like to address the council? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on. We do not have reports of our boards and commissions this evening, so we'll move on to the report and recommendations of the city manager, Mr. Hildebrand.
Mayor, council, a couple items for information this evening. The city council will conduct a budget work session on Thursday, May 22nd at 6 o'clock, third floor City Hall. And we'll have additional work sessions as needed next week on Tuesday and also Thursday, May 29th. City office will be closed on Monday, May 26th in observance of Memorial Day. The American Legion Post 29 will host Memorial Day service on Sunday, May 25th, beginning at 5 p.m., and that'll be at the stage area downtown. The Committee of the Whole will meet on Tuesday, May 27th at 8:30 a.m., third floor City Hall. The Foothills Regional Airport Authority will meet on Wednesday, May 28th at the airport. And then the Neon Night Ride Bike Ride will be held on Friday, May 30th at 8:30 to 10:30 at the Rotary Soccer Complex. Lastly, I would go back and announce also the mayor was approached this week and appointed to the North Carolina League of Municipalities Board of Directors at the request of the president to go back and serve this region as one for a special appointment. So congratulate him on that appointment.
Thank you.
Next, we have budget, and so give me a few seconds on that.
Thank goodness, only for a year. President gets 3.
Good evening again. Pursuant to Section 15911 of the NC General Statutes, the Local Government Budget and Fiscal Control Act, I'm pleased to present you with the proposed FY 25-26 proposed budget. This budget was developed, let me go through the slides. Began at your budget retreat back in February, and then your budget meeting in March, and throughout the, throughout the past year. During that retreat, you set priorities for the 2025 plan for us to go back and implement. Your priorities were continue efforts to offer competitive compensation and benefits for our employees to improve recruitment and retention, develop options to increase code enforcement and improve beautification in 3 primary areas. That was abandoned and neglected housing, dilapidated commercial properties, and appearance of downtown buildings. You also wanted us to update the Lenore Comprehensive Pedestrian Plan and improve walkability, evaluate long-term downtown parking needs, and continue to fund, support water and sewer capital improvement. And so that is the plan. That's what the budget's based on. The general fund's totaling $25,241,845. The budget's balanced with a reduced property tax rate of 46 cents per 100. The rescue readiness tax remains at 8.85 cents per 100 for a total rate of 46.85 per 100. I would note that we look back today, this is a reduction of 11 cents from the current rate, but we went back 45 years. We've never had a rate in 45 years below 47 cent. So this 46.85 would be the lowest, at least 45. It may be further. We didn't go back any further than that today. But under current law, the county is required to go back and conduct a revaluation of all real property at least every 8 years. And 2021 is the last reval. Real property is the land, commercial buildings, and permanent improvements on property. The purpose of the reval is to go back and provide equity among properties that may have appreciated or depreciated over the last year since the revaluation. Personal property motor vehicles are assessed every year. I would note, based on the numbers we received from the county, real property increased 44.88%. Personal property decreased 10%. Motor vehicles were flat, so overall our valuations went up 21.96% as a community. State law requires us to go back and publish a revenue-neutral tax rate after revaluation. This rate would be what we produced this current year with growth for the next year. That estimated rate was 45.05 per 100. So as I mentioned, the rate we're proposing is 46. As you see, general fund revenues, if you look at our property tax, sales tax, franchise tax, that makes up 79%. Let me make sure my notes here. 79% of our base. So that's the 3 largest categories of revenue we receive. If you look at our expenses, over half our expenses go to public safety, fire, and police. And you see the remaining areas there: recreation, public works, administration, parks and rec, finance, and so on, and planning. The recommended budget includes borrowing for a new ladder fire truck. And that ladder fire truck we've talked about several months in the last few meetings. We propose to go back and get a loan through the Red Leg program, which is the Rural Economic Development Loan and Grant Program through Blue Ridge Energy. That's a 7-year note at 0% interest. That's the only borrowing we have proposed in the budget. The budget does not use any fund balance. Our downtown municipal service district totals $271,550, which is balanced. The recommended rate for that is 18 cents per 100. The new revenue neutral rate is 17.39 cents. The special downtown tax is projected to generate $35,000. Water and sewer, the total is $263,721. That includes a 2.3% increase in water and sewer rates, which you approved earlier this year in March. That's based on the CPI we take from February, which is 2.3%. The average rate increase for our customers at 5,000 gallons is $1.28 per month. And we've notified all of our other users of that rate increase back in March. There's our water and wastewater revenues. The majority of our revenues come from water and then trailing that would be sewer, and then other. And expenses, of course, go to our two wastewater plants, water plant, and our distribution system. I would note we have 1.3 million of retained earnings projected for the budget to go for capital items, which we discussed back in our March meeting based on recommendations of McGill Associates. Over the years, we've talked about this numerous times, we have a lot of multi-year projects underway. A lot of this came from money through the American Rescue Plan, state direct appropriations, community development block grant funds, numerous other grants, and private donations. Some of those projects include Greenway connections and expansions, aquatic center renovation, Parks and Recreation Master Plan, Fire Department sinkhole repair, Finley Avenue water improvements, Hospital Avenue sidewalk project, cybersecurity infrastructure, wayfinding signage, the campus at the old historic Lenore High School, Harper Avenue streetscape project, and Lenore Valdez water interconnection. All those items are not in the budget, but we worked with that in our budget. But we want to note those things, that those are going on simultaneously to your operating budget. Your core services are continued at a realistic, conservative manner, knowing that the changing economy right now, we've got a lot of things going on, a lot of uncertainty, so we took that into consideration. Employee compensation, which a lot of folks in the room are pretty interested in. We're proposing a 3.75 cost of living increase for all employees, and it also funds our holiday longevity bonus program you installed last fall. Our compensation includes more than just salaries. Retirement increase, we have a mandated increase from the state. Law enforcement goes from 15.1% increase to 16.1%, while non-law enforcement rate will increase from 13.6 to 14.35. So that's got to be covered in the budget as well. Also, our health insurance premiums went up 27%. As most of you know, the League of Municipalities got out of the insurance business. It will be July 1st, so we had to go to a new carrier with that. Also, our property and general liability insurance increased by 14%. Our workers' compensation remained flat, but all that is covered with funds in the budget. One of your priorities over the years has been street resurfacing. We fund $420,000 to continue our implementation of our pavement plan. We expect POW bill funds to be similar to last year with that. We also have money for special paving, priority projects you've identified. That's $137,750. That is, I think this year's priorities are Hospital Avenue, once the sidewalk's installed, to repave that street in its entirety, and also in Parkview subdivision with all the development over there. Downtown, he continues to implement our downtown master plan. Also, we include more decorations for downtown, and also adding planters. Also, if you noticed in the last few weeks, the downtown attendant position has been reorganized and back downtown, and a lot of visibility on that as well. Code enforcement, the budget includes more than $100,000 for building demolitions and foreclosures, $35,000 in a contract we have with the Western Piedmont Council of Government to go back and provide some additional code enforcement force that works in the planning office 2 days a week. Technology, there's funds to go back and continue to upgrade computer and information technology throughout our organization. Environmental, we continue to go back as we're a federal Phase 2 stormwater program city. We contract with the Western Piedmont Council of Governments to run that program for us, and we budget funds for that. We also have a contract with them to go back and do ongoing stormwater mapping of our entire system. That's funded as well. As I mentioned, all debt obligations are funded and only one borrowing, which was the fire truck. So our capital, we have over $1.5 million in capital items proposed in the general fund. That includes, I mentioned, the ladder fire truck. We have trucks and vehicles for a variety of departments. I think that's 4 special utility vehicles for the police department, equipment upgrades in the police department. Also includes a new automated garbage truck replacement, improvements to Mulberry Recreation Center. That's just some of the highlights. Our capital program in water and sewers over $3 million. That's an increase of $1 million from last year. Repairs and building and renovations at the water treatment plant. We also have renovations at the public services building, replacement of pickup trucks. It funds Ridge Street and East Harper Avenue sewer replacement, raw pump and valve replacements. Downtown, as I mentioned before, more decorations, more planters, and implementation of our master plan. In summary, the budget's balanced, and I hope it addresses your priorities. We hope to maintain and enhance our current service levels with the proposed budget. And I want to compliment our staff because they continue to go back and find cost savings to maximize the resources we have, to be more efficient. I want to thank Donna Bean. She's taken the brunt of most of this work, putting it together. Joshua Harris has taken some abuse as well. Thank him and all the department directors who helped go back and give recommendations. I appreciate Team Lenore and City Council for your thoughts and your guidance in this process. We mention every year, I kind of go back and say this every year, though, our primary goal each and every day via our employee-led customer service initiatives is to go back and provide service beyond measure. And our tagline is "Create with us." What I ask you tonight to go back is to go back and approve a public hearing for this budget on June 3rd at the council meeting, 1st of June. And then we'll have a work session Thursday night to dig into it as deep, as much as you want.
Do we need that approval tonight
To approve the public hearing
Just the public
date, set the public hearing date.
for June 3rd?
Yep.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Have a motion then to, for the public hearing for the hearing, the budget to be on Tuesday, June the 3rd, here at the council chambers at 6 o'clock. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. We
I
do
will
have a
note-
budget work session Thursday, this coming Thursday, May 22nd.
I will
at
note
City
the
Hall.
budget proposal is online, the entirety of everything is online for anybody to view. And so is that live?
Yeah, it's live now.
Live. So go to cityoflenore.com/budget proposal.
Thursday night, third floor here.
Third floor, yeah.
I mean,
City Hall.
City Hall.
They will feed us.
Very good. Good job, Scott.
Yep.
And this is
Thank
our
you.
homework, right?
A lot of good work. Thank you, Donna, Scott, staff.
Mentioned everybody to bring that.
Yeah.
Quite a document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure that you do bring this with you when you come to the work session
You also have it electronically sent to you as well.
on that. Thank you all for a lot of hard work in putting this together. And it was a reval year. We knew there was a lot that we had to wait on and see, and you had to disseminate it the best we could. And we appreciate the hard work that went into that and where we are, so. Okay. We'll move on then to any report and recommendations for our city attorney. Anything out of the office over there?
Nothing at this time, sir.
Thank you very much. I do have some board appointments tonight, reappointments for all of our boards. This is the annual time that we do that for either appointments or reappointments. And I have a list here that we will give to you tonight for your consideration. And I've contacted all of these that are on here and talked with them about will they continue to serve and those that might not. And then we will have a few that we may have to add at a later time. But I'll give you the list.
Effective June 3rd.
What's that?
Effective June 3rd.
This will also be effective for June the 3rd.
Yeah, that's when you vote.
That's when we vote on it, but present it to you tonight. For the ABC Board, 3-year term, Jerry Brooks. Former Mayor Brooks has been on for a number of years, and he is the chair of that board, does a great job with it. For the Foothills Airport Authority, 2-year term, that would be me. I'm the representative there. Unless somebody else would like to have that job, I will continue doing it. I am the chair of the board, so they might want me to stay a little bit longer on that. The Lenore Housing Authority, which is a 5-year term, Mr. Hunter Greer for that, and that's a reappointment as well. Our Business Advisory Board, which are 3-year terms, would be Margaret Forney, Darren McKinney, John Moore, and Sean Williams. All would be reappointments to that board, and that's a good board that we have going on. For our Planning Board and Historic Preservation Commission, which are a part of that board, Mr. Curtis Baker, Sharon Bryant, who is in the ETJ, but as part of that, Don Trail Parson, and Mr. Tim Scobie was part of that, but he was not going to return. Tim has been on for about 12 years, and we appreciate his service, and he decided it's time maybe to step down on that, and we'll be thanking Tim at a little bit later time for his service. But I have a recommendation for a gentleman I have talked with named Joey Petrak. Joey is an attorney, lives here in Lenore, practices in the Boyne Rock Boone area, but has been very active. I think he's been coming to the planning board meetings and has a great interest in it. So I would make a recommendation for him to fill that empty seat that we have on the planning board. Board of Adjustments, 3-year term as well. Sharon Bryan also would be up for that, and Michael Correcchia, who is the alternate to that Board of Adjustments. As you know, the Board of Adjustments is part of the Planning Board, and some of those serve as well on both boards. A Recreation Advisory Board, which are 4-year terms, we have 2 seats that are open right now, one of which was for Tim Porch. Tim has decided he had to step down. He couldn't do it again, so we have another seat that was already open on that. And we have some applicants that I am talking with, and we'll be making some recommendations on that in the near future. But those are returning, would be back: James Robertson, Scott Barnett, Michael Deneen, and Rick Pierce, all are currently serving on that board. And we staggered those a little bit just so that we would have a couple that wouldn't rotate off all the time. So James and Scott would be 2028, and Michael Deneen and Rick Pierce 2029. The Lenore Tourism Development Authority, also a 4-year term, and both of these are currently serving and would like to continue serving: Jesse Plaster and Matthew Underwood. And there are certain ways that you have to serve on that board and recommendations for that, how it fits with the statutes. So these are the recommendations that I am presenting to you to be considered at our next meeting on June the 3rd. So thank you for that, and please take a look at those. We have some great boards in this city, and we thank them for their service. All right, anything to come before us for the council tonight? Any other council members have anything to bring up?
Just thank folks for participating in Bloom Blast.
Yes, the Bloom Blast was a
Saturday
success.
Blast.
Yeah, Saturday, okay, thank you for that, and appreciate that. Great concert with the Harper School on Sunday. Was there, the Blue Ridge Winds and Blue Ridge Voices. Was very nicely done at the high school auditorium, the campus, which obviously we're running out of time there. We're not gonna get to do some things there. Pretty soon, hopefully we'll be starting on some new ventures in that auditorium and other things at the campus, so we are working on that as well. But that was a nice event. Actually, there were 3 events there over the weekend at the campus, so that was great that people are using that facility, and that's what we want to be done there. So, all right, if nothing else to come before us tonight, we stand adjourned.